Hey everybody, this is Grifton giving you a quick explanation of Avoidance Cap and how to get it as a bear. Now, Avoidance Cap is the concept that you can actually get so much avoidance that you won't even be hit. Um, the specific definition is when your cumulative dodge, parry, and block plus 5% boss miss equal or exceed 102.4%. Now, because bears don't have parry and block, they're going to lean heavily on dodge. The two talents you're going to need for this are Survival of the Fittest and Feral Swiftness, which you'll probably have picked up anyway. Survival of the Fitness gives you a 3% increase to your stats, and Feral Swiftness is going to give you a 4% dodge. On top of that, if you're a Night Elf Druid, you will get an extra 1% dodge because of your racial. Now, there are two big exceptions. Sunwell Plateau actually has this weird buff called Sunwell Radiance, as you can see on the screen, and it's actually going to add a 20% dodge debuff during, I believe, in boss fights. I've been told some fights don't have it, but I don't know the specifics of it, so I would just assume that Sunwell Plateau, the avoidance cap is out of your reach. The other exception, I'm sorry, is that you also can't use this for non-melee fights. So anything that casts spells, you're not going to dodge. So they have to be a melee fight. It's really important that you know that going in, but let's go ahead and jump into the gear. So as you can see here, I've already built out the avoidance cap. This is based on phase 5 gear. Some of the stuff you can get earlier, some of the stuff you will have to wait until phase 5 to get. It really is just going to depend on what you can get a hold of. Now, the dodge chance I got on this is 70.27%. As you can see towards the bottom here, right over here. Now, this isn't the obviously 102.7, but you also have to factor in that this character is not buffed. Um, so that by itself is going to add Mark of the Wild. So let's see, Mark of the Wild gives you a 18.9% agility increase. The Grace of Air Totem is going to give you an 88.55 agility increase. Elixir of Major Agility is another 35 agi. Assuming you'll be eating a Warp Burger, that's 20 more agi. Trying to think other buffs you might get. The point is, it does add up. So as long as you can hit the 70.27, you should be good, assuming you've got Survival of the Fittest, you've got your Kings up, you've got a Scorpion Sting on the boss, you've got Insect Swarm on the boss. Yes, all of this is needed in order to achieve avoidance cap, and it's a pain in the butt. Okay, so now let's go over the gear itself. There are a couple of things I want to point out too. And we're gonna start right off with the goggles anyway. The goggles, you need engineering 350 to wear these goggles. So one of the professions you will have to have is engineering. If you decide not to go engineering, there are alternatives like Mask of Fury Hunter. However, it may push you below the avoidance cap, and because the quad death blow X44 goggles are just so good with 61 agility and a meta slacket, it's hard to not take this. Like if you really want to be that avoidance guy, I would recommend going engineering just for this one dumb piece. If not, this is pretty close. You're going to lose 11 agility. You get the red socket, which means you're going to get the stamina bonus because you'll be slotting agility in there anyway. However, you may have to, uh, I don't know. It's gonna be hard, and we'll go over that in a second. Why? So assuming you've got um, engineering. Now you notice I also have the +4 to all stats. Now this is required for enchanting. However, you can be an enchanter, add the stats, drop enchanting, and then re-level jewel crafting, which I'm pretty sure I don't know if I use it here, but like the jewel crafting special items might be in here somewhere. So it will help if you do this where you get the all stats and then you go jewel crafting to get the better jewel crafting gems. If you don't worry about it. You should be able to get really close, if not completely avoidance capped. But anyway, we'll keep going. Okay, Necklace of the Deep. This is actually pretty sweet. I believe this drops in phase 1. It's just a jewel crafting item. 2 slots. Now there are better items. Like you could argue that, yeah, Clutch of the Demise. But because of those 2 red slots, it makes this pretty much essentially 41 agility because you're going to slap agility in those 2 slots, and it's just unbeatable. So I would recommend getting this Necklace of the Deep. Like again, it's jewel crafting. Now, if you decide you don't want to get this, there are items, and I'll get to this later. There are other items you can get that are almost as good, but I'm going to cover that when I get to the rings. Okay, now you've got Demon Tooth shoulder pads. These are just the best. They're best for both just avoidance tanking and then regular tanking. The stats are too good. The slots are just like 2 slots. On shoulders, that's pretty good. Just it's overall statted really well for a druid. So just grab this. Okay, Flick's Cloak of Placation. This is not considered the best in slot. I believe Cloak of Unforgivable Sin is. However, for mitigation, specifically for avoidance, this is where it's at. 346 armor, 37 stamina. I would get this regardless. It is Badges of Justice though, so you're gonna have to save up for it. The other alternative I would say is the Cloak of Unforgivable Sin because it does have that 26 agility on it. However, you're losing out on the 16 defense and your 25 dodge rating. You're gonna have to socket that really well to make up for it, but it might be worth it. Okay, Harness of Carnal Instinct. So this thing's pretty sweet, mainly because it's got 3 gem slots. I actually had to gem the colors accordingly because I needed to get the meta gem bonus. But if you somehow don't care about the meta gem, which I think you should, you could probably gem these all agility. I don't recommend it. I think this is kind of the way to go. Obviously, you're going to get the +6 all stats to benefit you, and just that 44 agility is pretty much going to be the best in slot. There's really nothing. I mean, so I did the math. I think Thunder. No, there's one that's like really close. Try to find what it is. It's just not as good because of the 44 agility. Um, yeah, like you can wear this, but it's got the same slots, and this one gives you, if you decide to go the slotted, which I did, you see you get the second one for +4 agility, so it's really 48 agility. I don't know. Play around. If you've got the Carapace of Sun and Shadow, you might be able to make it work. Again, 70.27 is my goal, or is what I was targeting 70%. If you can find close to there and then just kind of wiggle around, you should be able to squeeze, but you definitely want to push 70%. Okay, so now I'm jumping all the way down to Thunderheart wrist guards. These are pretty much best in slot regardless, so just grab them. They're pretty much ready to be gemmed for agility anyway. Um, Somewhat plateau though, so it's going to be a while before you see those. Stanchion of Primal Instinct. It's actually the best weapon you should be carrying. You should be 35 agility anyway, so this is again going to be in your bags already. Somewhat plateau. Okay. Shadow Gauntlet of Peroxism. This is not the best item for overall tanking. Like I guess for best you're going to go for Gloves the Forest Drifter. However, because of the extra agility for this particular thing, you're going to take the Shadow Gauntlets of Peroxism over the Gloves of the Forest Drifter. Even though Gloves of the Forest Drifter are really good, you could definitely, wear those and be really close. You really want to go, I mean, to achieve this 70%, you really have to kind of hit the specific items. Okay, so Leggings of Immortal Beast. This is going to be tricky because these are best in slot, and I don't know how you need to gem them in order to be viable. I actually gem them to the correct color to get that extra 4 agility. But everyone can do their own thing. This is just so good. 46 agility. Okay, no, this is the other one I compared. Leggings of the Immortal Knight. Now, because it's got the 3 gems, you might be able to argue this is better because you could gem it all 3. However, I needed a blue socket anyway in order to get my meta gem, so it worked out that this ended up being better with the 4 agility. Um, I guess it depends. I mean, essentially, you're arguing over 5 agility overall on this. Um, to each their own, I guess. This is really good too. So if you can't get Leggings of the Immortal Beast, Leggings of the Immortal Knight are good too. Or if you've got both and you want to use one for tanking regular and one for dodge tanking or avoidance tanking, I would probably go this. I would probably go this for dodge, honestly, just because of the extra armor, because you're gonna get hit if in regular mitigation. But hey, do you? Shadow Master's boots, these are pretty much the go-to. They are not the best. The best are the Thunderheart treads. So these will be the ones you wear for regular tanking, and then you'll get the Shadow Master's boots for your dodge or avoidance tanking. They're just so good. The agility is, yes, lower, but you see the 2 gem slots make up for it. I did the statting, even with the loss of the 5 agility, with the extra socket, it really makes it work. Let's see. Okay, so here's interesting. Here's an interesting little part. Arcane Loop of Eluding. Now, this is actually so it's up on the list. This is actually from Netherstorm, Daughter of Destiny, and Evercore the Punisher. Now, this is actually really well statted. However, if you see there's one right above us, Amber Band of Eluding, it is the exact same stats, and it's a world drop. So if you're still watching this video right now, Don't tell anyone. Watch this for this thing on the auction house. Same thing with the Alamdine Ring of Looting. Yes, one agility, one dodge less, but still, this thing for a green is going to be sweet. So keep an eye out for it. Again, you can get this one as well. But I mean, if you can pick this one up off the auction house for a little bit of gold, this is definitely worth. And you can wear two of these, which is actually pretty nice. Now there is I want to argue slightly better ring, which we'll get to in a second. But if you can get your hands on these, this is a pretty good set. Okay, the delicate Eternium ring. I'm actually going to type this in. I believe it's jewel crafting. Yeah, delicate Eternium ring, really good dodge rating. It comes with stamina, which makes it, you could argue, better, but technically it's less. I don't know. So you get 4 more agility, but you lose 5 dodge. Honestly, it ends up breaking even. This one is unique though, so you can only carry one. So if you can get it, great. But obviously, these other 2 rings are way easier to get. So I mean, whatever you can get your hands on. Shadow Moon Insignia. This one's kind of lower down the list of regular tanking because most of the avoidance ones are specific to dodge or defense. This one has both, which is why it's the best one. But for regular tanking, you really don't focus that. You usually get like stamina ring or stamina oh my god, stamina. Oh my gosh, trinket. Sorry about that. Stamina trinkets, but for this one, you're going to focus on obviously defense and dodge, which benefit your dodge both. You want to get this is like pretty much the go-to. Obviously, the other one, if you don't know already, is Maro's Lucky Pocket Watch. This one's kind of cool because it gives you base defense. I spelled it wrong. It gives you base. It gives you base dodge, and then it has an use for increase of dodge by 300. This is really nice. Even if you're not trying to go for avoidance cap, if you go to a fight where maybe he's like he enrages, if there's like a soft enrage or a frenzy, you could pop this just to give your healers a little bit more cushion. But for this specific avoidance cap, this is definitely nice for that 38 dodge rating. And you'll pick that up early on in Karazhan, so I mean, just hold on to it. And then I've got Idolater. Now, Idolater, you could argue it's not really beneficial. It's not something you're going to rely on. But essentially, your Mangle ability has a chance to grant 65 agility for 10 seconds. I mean, if you can't get your hands on this, it's probably not going to be the game breaker, but it's only 20 badges of justice. I mean, if you can't get it, again, who cares? But at the same time, it will help your agility and therefore your dodge. Here are all the stats. Let me scroll just a little bit so you can see everything. Here are all the stats. I've got a dodge chance of 70.2. Because of all the agility, I'm also getting a 47.39. This is pre-buff. You're be pushing above 50 easily, fully decked out in gear, because you're bringing in at least another 150 just from like buffs for agility. So that's gonna change your crit chance easily over 50%. So yeah, this is pretty much everything. I want to point out though, your armor is going to be low, which is expected because you're sacrificing a lot of stuff in order to get higher avoidance, and your health is going to be a little low. This is a risky thing to do. It's also more of like a side project druids like to do to build out an avoidance set. So if your raid leader says no, just accept it, suck it up. But if they're like, yeah, we're willing to try it, go for it. But be prepared to just get one shot clapped if you don't have the full avoidance cap. You don't have the hunter keeping the serpent sting up, the druid keeping the insect swarm up, and keeping blessing the kings on you. Maybe your warp burger falls off halfway through. All grace of air totem drops. All these things need to be in place for you to do this. So, uh, yeah, just you know, take it with a grain of salt. Have fun. Anyway, I hope this video helped. If you have any questions or if you think I got anything wrong, please comment or reach out to me. Yeah, thanks.